2.
Oh.
November 2.
I know.
It's the second.
It's time to talk. Here we go.
Oh, oh, hey, that's cool. Oh, those are all different.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, that was cool. Yeah,
Hey!
I like that. That
That
was
was our
nice.
new opening.
All
Yes.
right, we open. Now we're open for business. Nice. Like bodegas. Woo!
I'm
Yeah.
I'm so inspired. I'm so inspired, and I'm excited for the folks that have shown up. Just wanted to let you guys know that this episode of Interlude Talk on Tuesdays is brought to you by Coach Glass. It's never too late to create the life of your dreams. Please feel free to visit Coach Glass to book your free assessment right now, and we'll be placing her information in the chat. A free assessment if you want your dreams to become a reality.
GLACE.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's like
So we want to say hello to our man in the chat, Mr. Springer. What's up, bro? Thank you.
Kevin. I hear Springer, it just makes me want to chant.
I think that's exciting. I think that's exciting. But I mean, great. I'm excited for oh yeah, he's doing a what up? What's up with you? What's up with everybody? Halloween.
What?
I mean, Halloween happened over the weekend. Did you do anything special, Michael, or no?
No.
I didn't do too much. I didn't do too much of anything either. Did guys that's in the chat, did you all do anything special? Did you dress up? I kind of feel like after you pass a certain age, are you dressing up for Halloween? I don't
Now,
know.
yes, I wanted to. Now I will tell you the very brief story.
Okay.
I ordered something off of a website that will remain nameless until they become a sponsor. But they're headed by a guy that looks like Lex Luthor. Okay, so the Lex Luthor website guy also owns a newspaper, but I won't name him because until he begins to pay me. So I ordered something off of that site from a country called China, and I did it about a month ago. It was supposed to arrive by Halloween, and then the dates kept getting pushed back and back and back and back, and then it was out of here. It was no way it was going to get here. So I intended on having an awesome Halloween costume. This is the first year that I haven't had a Halloween costume. I felt a little weird about it. I tried to drive around the city of Chicago and outskirts to find a spirit store, and apparently businesses in Chicago are doing so well. I could not find a spirit store.
Oh no.
You know about spirit stores, Val?
Not really. I haven't visited one as of lately.
Okay, well, but you know that they come in, they find abandoned, storefronts, and they take over for Halloween, and they sell things. They sell Halloween costumes. So, like, if you're like your Best Buy goes out of business around Halloween, it'll become a spirit store. Okay, right, right. It'll be haunted by a spirit store. That dead store comes to life for Halloween to sell you goop gobs of crap. So, yeah, I couldn't find one. I
Hmm.
know that they were out here, but there were none in this area, which I guess is a credit to the businesses in the area. That's a good thing, I guess. But yeah, I had a cool costume too. It was really
I
subtle.
wonder, I wonder, I wonder what your costume would have been, Michael. Because hey, Ferdy in the chat is saying that he one time dressed up like a pirate.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, a couple of years ago, I dressed up as Bruno Mars.
Oh, wow. Hey,
24
how did
karat.
that work out?
Oh, it was great. It was 24 karat Bruno Mars. I went to school dressed like that. The kids in the class and I, we did the dances. I had the short shorts on like Bruno and the loafers and the big chain, and I had curly hair. Of course, it was a wig. Uh, the
Wow.
one year
Oh
I was
my
Bruno
God.
Mars. The next year I was Billy Ray Cyrus.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
I'll dress up as for Halloween. I just didn't get a chance to this year because my costume wouldn't arrive on time. So
And that
me a
speaks
little
to
bit.
a much larger issue that's actually happening, guys.
The supply
Unfortunately,
chain.
the shipping cargo
Mm-hmm.
just
Yeah, it's gone to ship. It's very
yeah.
shippy.
So my thing is, if you guys want to get something for Christmas, I think you
Order
should put
now,
in your order right
now, right
now.
now, right now.
Right
Do not wait. Do not wait.
now. Do not wait.
Especially
Please
if
do
you're
not
dealing
wait.
with a certain forest website, which will remain nameless, that's found in South America, because all that
Yes.
stuff seems to getting pushed back for some
Push
reason.
back, I know. And so I am not a big fan of Halloween. I'm just going to admit that. If you guys celebrate Halloween, let us know in the chat. I'm not a big fan of Halloween. However, a good friend of mine, a friend to the show, Princess, she loves Halloween, so she came by and showed off her Batgirl outfit, and I thought it was really cute. And so she was ready to give the trick or treaters things, and I think only one or two kids came by, and then that was it.
You mean she
So
gave them something in addition to being dressed like Batgirl?
I guess, I
That
guess,
wasn't that wasn't the treat.
I oh wow, it was a treat for a husband, but that's all I'm gonna say about that. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But that's fun. But that I don't know. It is a fun thing to do. And I think if I was to dress up like someone, if I was to do a dress up, I would like to dress up like a cowgirl. What about you?
Me too. I could dress up like Megan the Stallion. She dresses like a cowgirl most of
Yeah,
the
she
time.
does. She does. Yeah, I Well, this leads me to my next big situation, which is the movie that's actually out, but actually is going to be released streaming on Netflix tomorrow. The Harder They Fall. It's a
Oh
black
yeah,
western on Netflix.
yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
know.
right.
All right, let me see if I could do this real quick. All right. Can I hit pause? There we go. So that
Whoa,
yes,
graphics,
we got graphics today. What we talking about?
graphics.
We got graphics. So, who's going to be starring in
Oh,
the Harder They Are Far? We have the great
wow! It's like it
Regina.
coming to life right in front of my eyes.
I know. Idris Elba and a guy that's hanging behind Regina in this shot would be this is
Jonathan Majors.
John Majors, right, right. So
Yeah.
I'm excited about
Whoa,
this music. What about you?
I am hella excited. Yeah, I gotta get Bay Area on that one. Yeah, I've always loved westerns. I grew up with a family that loved westerns. Still, if you go to them relatives, they watching westerns on Sundays when it's not football season. They got it. Oh yeah, it looks real good, man. Good.
Thanks, Birdie.
I mean, a future show, right, Val? We have that's a heritage, a tradition of African Americans in with horses, right? The term cowboy. I mean, there's a reason it exists that way. We got history here, so I
A
feel
lot of
good.
history.
Like I'm still attracted to it. I loved horses since I was a little kid. Go up to
Really?
Wisconsin. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
well, I remember going to summer camp, and that was one of my duties. My jobs up there was to take care of the horses. I loved it. I did that. Got to pet them, got to clean them, take care of the stables. Got to ride the horses, sometimes with the saddle, and sometimes without, and they're gentle beasts. They're wonderful animals, and just that whole experience. I mean, the West and Westerns and African Americans and exploration. We have a bit of a better history with our Native American friends than some other groups in this country. There's a lot of coming together too of those two groups. So it's a good thing. I'm looking forward to this Western. I mean, a lot of the things that we think about the old West have African American roots, and it's just like a story untold. So I know this is fiction, but still, I'm interested in it. How you feel about it?
I'm excited to see it. I'm going to admit something. Please put it in the chat if you are a fan of westerns, because I want to point out something. People of a certain age love westerns because that was kind of the only thing that was on television. I don't know if you guys know about that. The thing that I would notice is that Bonanza, The Lone Ranger, these were the westerns that,
Rawhide,
yeah, they would, yeah, Rawhide. These were the westerns that my mom and my parents grew up with. I
Have
don't know
Gun Will
about.
Travel.
Yeah, I know. And we got T Row on here. He's saying that she's saying that the cast has her
Yeah,
hooked,
that's
and
she.
uh, uh,
I,
I
I'll
understand.
hook you up in the future with these, okay? Is that a woman? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but I know for one thing. Quick question: Idris Elba and Regina King starred in another movie a long time ago. Do we all know what the name of that movie was? Just a little movie trivia there.
I'm gonna be quiet on that one. I'm gonna let the chat and the folks have a.
If you guys in the chat, if you know the name of the movie that Regina King and Idris Elba were in about 10 or 12 years ago, put it in the chat. I just wanted to just see if you guys know what that is.
Now you talking about westerns, Val?
I know I'm talking about westerns, but
there's also African American westerns, right? Right. If we go to Barrio,
I switched to the actors. I
that's
switched to
okay.
the
You can
actors. That's
switch to
what
the
I did.
actors. That's fine. But I'm saying they're you mentioned the start on television as kind of entertainment that way, but there were also African Americans westerns, right? On
Mhm.
as movies, you have one of your favorites, right? Posse as one of
Yes.
them.
Do you all remember Posse? That came out in the 90s. Just let me know in the chat. Slay just said, I agree with T, and she will watch because of Idris and Regina. Because there's a lot of people that aren't fans of Westerns. I know I wasn't, but I definitely have my pick. I
That's really
definitely want to see.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's really interesting. I mean, because okay. So that I understand. Like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it doesn't go generation to generation. For me, it does. I mean, I could watch. I haven't seen it in a while, but Unforgiven. Forgive me for praising Clint Eastwood, but he does well. He did well with that.
Yes, he
Morgan
did.
Freeman, Gene Hackman, Clint Eastwood. That's a hell of a western. I see. I remember the later ones, the older ones, like Silverado. Like
Yeah.
that's one that I enjoy. I think Danny Glover is in that one. It's going off
Mm-hmm.
the top of my head. And then there are some other newer ones. I mean, if you go to Netflix, which was going to have The Heart of Their Fall. If you're looking for something before that release tomorrow on Wednesday, there's a really interesting adaptation of a YA, a young adult book called Concrete Cowboy,
Mm-hmm.
which talks about that tradition. Is that Idris again? Is Idris
It
in that?
is.
Okay,
Idris is
he
in that.
stars
Is
in
in
that.
that.
That's
Yeah.
set in Philadelphia, and it has to do with a section of the city where there are stables and African Americans who tend their horses in those stables. So yeah, here's what I was going to mention before I forget. Some people say they don't like westerns. I get that, but
Mm-hmm.
the whole idea, the concept of the Western, it didn't stay in the West. In the 80s and the 90s, 2000s, it went to space. Those are the same concept. Like the Western, the same premise of the Western is the space movie, or most of those space adventure movies. They're just in a different setting.
Right,
I
right.
mean, if you look at something like Blade Runner or even like Star Wars, those are westerns. It's just that they're
Hmm.
set in outer space with sci-fi.
Yeah, and I like the story through line that happens with westerns because greatly is always a person that is or people that are the antagonists. We are here and we're going to take over a town. And then you have someone that has been given the right to defend the town or and I haven't you noticed that all of our favorite sitcoms would always have some type of western episode. I don't know. I remember what was the name of that one with Urkel? Family Matters
Family
had a
Matters. Yeah.
western. They had a western episode. You
Oh,
guys remember that?
it's such a great. I mean, people know. I mean, maybe it's not your cup of tea, so to speak, but you know what a western is like. You know what the setting is. You know how it's put together. One of the funniest movies to me, one of the funniest movies ever made, is a western. It's called Blazing Saddles.
Yes.
The sheriff is a
Yes. Did anyone see Blazing Saddles? If you all have a favorite
the
western
sheriff is a
or comedy like that, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. I remember Blazing Saddles. That was
the
hilarious.
sheriff is a he just loves that sheriff. Well, he just can't keep talking about it. Uh,
So I know you guys haven't answered the question, but here it is. If you remember the name of the movie that Idris Elba and Regina King starred in a long time ago, wasn't a Western. It was around Christmas when this came out, and it was This Christmas. You remember that movie?
which
Yeah,
Christmas was it?
exactly. The name of the movie was called This Christmas.
So it hasn't come out yet.
No, it came out in 2008.
Well, that was last Christmas then.
That movie had pretty much a lot of stars, including Regina King, in it as well. And I know my favorite, Loretta Devine, was kind of the Madeir, and Delroy Lindo was also in that as well. And Delroy Lindo is also in The Harder They Fall as well. So I'm excited for this film. If you guys didn't want to see it in the movie theater, because I think it was released in the movie theaters this weekend, The Harder They Fall comes out on Netflix streaming on tomorrow. And I'm excited about that. My goodness. So, but moving on. Oh my goodness. I just wanted to I just wanted to did you realize that your favorite show is back, Michael? Atlanta is back.
I know this trailer came out for Atlanta this week. I know that. I know that Mr. Glover is guns blazing to borrow that Western motif there. He come out firing, buddy. It's like
I
I don't know
know.
what y'all talking about, Dave, boy. You forgot what I could deliver. My goodness, I did not forget what you could deliver, sir. I don't
Mhm.
get. They're in Europe. What?
I don't I
Palatial?
saw the trailer.
What's
I saw
Paperboy up to?
right, I know. And oh wait a minute, I want to go back to what
He
T
must
just
be
put.
dead.
Yeah, This Christmas with Chris Brown. That's the movie. So
Oh,
Delroy
I
Lindo.
wouldn't spend any Christmas with Chris Brown. No, no. That's how the police get called. That's not a
Oh
good
my,
idea.
oh my
Be
gosh.
careful.
Well,
Be
yes. So
careful.
the trailer
Protect
has
your
come out.
niece.
Right. So the trailer has come out for Atlanta. And how long has Atlanta been missing? Because it's a FX show. When was the
Oh,
last time we saw an original episode from Atlanta?
I don't know because the last time I saw Mr. Glover, he was on the beach with Rihanna, which I ain't mad at all. Do you remember this? Anybody
That
else
ain't
remember
got
this?
nothing to do. Thank you,
Oh,
Slim.
yes, it
That ain't
does.
got nothing to
Oh,
do.
yes, it does, buddy.
It got nothing to do with the show.
How long? So we're talking about how long ago was there an episode of Atlanta? That's how long ago it was. Okay, that he was on the beach with Rihanna doing some other movie where they sang and guitars, and I don't know. This was during the pandemic. I have no idea. It seems like a year, 2 years, 10 years. I
Yeah.
don't know.
So it's
Was
what
Obama
happened.
president the last time Atlanta came out?
I
I think
believe
Obama
it
was
was.
president. I don't
I
know.
want. I no, it was 2019. And
Are
my
you
thing is,
sure?
yeah,
Because
it
it
was
seems
2000.
a lot longer.
I,
Uh,
you know what, guys? I don't. I'm just gonna. I'm gonna
mm,
bust. I'm gonna bust out my executive producer real quick. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the smoke in the background. Like, what's happening, bruh?
hey,
What you?
I'm celebrating the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that that we'll probably get to talk about a little bit earlier. I'm celebrating my man that inducted LL Cool J into the Rock Hall. I don't know if you know who did that. Yes,
Okay. Well,
do you
we're
know who
gonna get to.
LL
We're
Cool J?
gonna. Yeah, we're gonna get to that in like two. We're gonna get to that in 2 seconds. But Atlanta is unfortunately, like a lot of shows, was interrupted by the pandemic. I love Danny Glover.
Is that the
I'm
reason?
saying it was
Donald Glover. I
Donald
like Danny
Glover.
Glover too. I like both of them.
Yeah,
They're
but it
unrelated,
was
though, I
it was
think.
interrupted by the pandemic. So what is happening right now? It will be released in 2022.
Was it the pandemic? He's a mercurial sucker, a person. Uh, Donald Glover is a mercurial individual, so I think
I
he was
think
taking
I
his
need you. Whoa,
time
whoa, stop,
putting
stop. I know I'm a
Atlanta
college
together.
graduate. What does that mean? What does that word mean? You know, I'm a college graduate. What does that
Mercurial?
mean? Yeah, I forgot.
He kind of runs hot and cold at times, and I think he
Okay,
was waiting to run hot again before he put something new out. I mean, he's very
okay.
meticulous with this show. The show is all about excellence. The first two seasons are unbelievable. They matched the first two seasons of the Chappelle Show. There, I said his name. Dave Chappelle's show. In terms of being like unbelievable classic and something you should own. So I don't think he wanted to half step and come back with nonsense. He wanted to come back with something strong. And he also had this unfortunate problem, which I guess is a good problem. Every single actor on Atlanta has blown up since Atlanta ended season two. Am I right or am I right?
Uh, Lakeith Stansfield,
Lakeith Stansfield was nominated for an
Oscar.
Oscar and probably should have won, except for the fact that he was in the category with Mr. Daniel, who won his Oscar.
Oscar, right?
Okay, so if he had been in a different category, he might have had a better shot at it. So he's an Oscar-winning act, or Oscar-nominated actor. Paperboy has been in everything, including the new Marvel's movie Eternals, which is coming out on Friday. So he's been a busy young man. Okay.
Yeah.
Donald
So
Glover, I mean, he's been, I think, for, Donald Glover was for Halloween. He dressed up as Halloween this year, right?
Childish Gambino.
Yeah, he dressed up as Childish Gambino. It's
Mhm.
amazing. The
Yeah.
resemblance is amazing. So, I
Oh
mean,
my
he's
God.
been busy. So, everybody, Zazie Beats, who plays his ex-wife ish. I mean, she's been in everything. She's going to be in Passing, which we weren't going to mention, but now we just did. Boom. She's in Passing, the Nella Larson adaptation that's coming to streaming, which is an awesome book. You should read it.
Yeah.
You guys should
Um,
read it.
we should
It's
definitely check it out. So let me jump in here real quick.
Atlanta's been big. How can he
Okay,
wait to? He's got to wait to get all these people back together to make his TV show because they're
okay.
making movies.
If there is a show that you've missed seeing on, I don't know, any platform that you could think of, put it in the chat because a lot of shows did get
Rock.
interrupted. However,
I
with
miss Rock
Atlanta,
still.
a lot of the actors have gone on to do fabulous things as the next season comes. So I'm just thinking,
I
what are
know.
some of those shows that you have been waiting to come back, or you found out they were canceled, and you're like, man, because I kind of feel like Atlanta, I thought it was canceled, but I didn't hear anything in the trades or a Variety or anything. So I'm like, I know it's going to come back because it had some of the highest ratings for the channel FX.
Because the cast is stupid. They're stupid good. Okay, here's another thing. Here's
Okay.
a slightly different thing. Name me a show that has a better cast than Atlanta.
Oh, guys, can you all name a better cast than Atlanta? Think
Because I
about it.
can't. A TV show? Because I
A
can't.
TV show.
I can't.
At one point, well, no, I
Nope.
was going to
Nope.
mention
No hoes, no
Scandal.
plus.
I was going to
No
mention,
plus.
but
Oh,
Scandal's
Scandal?
gone. Scandal's gone.
It's gone. How to Get Away with
Mhm.
Murder? No longer.
It's gone. Oh, here we go. Kevin says Gotham. Okay, he made a face. All right, I
Okay,
don't.
no. Okay, all right. So if we were doing this, if this was teams, we would say like you got your starters, but once you get your starters, who's coming off your bench? Because I got a deep bench. Zazie Beetz is on my bench. She's not even a starter. Okay, she occasionally gets an episode, maybe. Like this is like dumb. I mean, guest stars. The guest stars on Atlanta were like ridiculous too.
Right. So there's a lot of films. There are a lot of television shows that have excellent actors, and definitely, with an actor, you just want to keep working. And I know Atlanta did great, definitely for the first 2 seasons that it came out, but everyone started doing other stuff, including Donald Glover. He was in, what was that? The what was that? The Lion King reboot,
Oh
voicing it
yeah,
or
that's
something.
right. I
Yeah.
forgot all about that because that was forgettable. Yeah, he was in that.
These are our opinions, but guys, if you all want to see the teaser for the new Atlanta show, we're gonna put it in the chat. And then we'll also
You gotta
in the
click
chat.
on before 3 a.m. though, because that website is for real. They will cut it off at 3 a.m. I checked.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
it's a real thing. So
Oh my
it's
goodness.
what's it, Gilga, and then it goes off. It's like it's supposed to be under construction.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's
got it.
hilarious. Well, now let me get to the next situation.
Hey, oh no, that's off the air too. I was gonna say one of the other TV shows that Donald Glover was on had an excellent cast too.
Mhm.
It was on Community, right? That had a great cast to it.
Okay.
But these are all old shows. I mean, things still on. Gotham was the only thing mentioned. I'm sure there's got to be some others. I just don't know.
All right. Well, great. Thank you. I see Kevin has placed the teaser in the chat, so I appreciate it. So now I'm adding this. Do we know who this is, Mr. Wamble?
Black Jesus? That look like Black Jesus. Wait, nah, it looks like a kid. Okay, it's Black Jesus and a kid.
Well,
that sounds like Stephanie's show.
The show that came out
After Chico and the Man
by Ava DuVernay, Colin in Black and White.
Black
that was
Jesus
a six. It was not Black Jesus. It was Colin
and the
Kaepernick.
kid. And the kid.
It was
Colin
on ABC.
Kaepernick. It was right after What's Happening Now.
Colin Kaepernick narrates a little bit, as well as its juxtaposition of
Walks
gracious.
through.
It was a documentary as well as a dramatization, and good gracious, if you
they were making up show, you make up words.
Oh my! I can make up a word. Oh, thank you. What's up, Khalil? He says he's watching it right now. That first episode lets me know that Colin has no intention of going back to the NFL. And if they wanted him back, they're not having him back because he pretty much calls out the NFL in the first episode. Like
you mean
damn.
the comparison between the weighing and measuring of athletes to that of slaves? You think that the NFL doesn't like that? Why would they dislike that?
Milan said it's fire.
No, what's fire is his head after he got them cornrows in. That's what fire was.
Pat your weave, baby.
Oh
Pat
yeah,
your
yeah.
weave.
Oh no, I know that as a teacher of young African Americans in the classroom at times. I'm like, wait, are you raising your hand? Oh no, you're not raising your hand. Like, you must know the answer. You were really emphatic.
Oh, somebody's laughing at your Black Jesus commentary
Does
too.
he look like? Like I saw that same picture at Saint Sabina, right? Ain't that the Black Jesus picture? No,
Yeah,
it's not. It's Colin Kaepernick.
it
Okay.
does. Okay.
Yep. That's a big wig. I don't know. You think that's his hair, man? Or you think that's a
I
wig?
I you know what? I believe it's his hair based on what was happening in the series cuz
Mm-mm.
Ava, well, put it like this: Ava DuVernay wanted to go. I saw a couple of interviews with her. She said she wanted to have the camera swoop down and get him taking a knee, and she kind of, dreamed up how she was going to do everything.
Mm-mm.
And then he said, "I want to talk about my high school years and kind of the microaggressions that was happening against me." Because he
Girl,
was an adopted kid from Wisconsin. I didn't know that. Did you guys
look,
know that? I didn't know. I didn't know that. And
I
he was an
know his story
adopted kid. He
fairly
was an
well.
adopted kid from Wisconsin. He moved. He's there with a all white family in California,
That's a
and
good cast.
that was an excellent. Mary Louise Parker. She did an excellent job portraying
Not his
his
daddy.
mom and his dad. Yeah,
That's my guy. That's Mr.
I sure.
Swanson. From Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec actor. It was.
Capo
I
that.
really, I really liked the way. At first, I was trying to figure out how is he telling this story? Why is he here? And then I understood what I think after the first episode. I understood. Okay, you're there was some things that he wanted to punctuate, but definitely the conservative crowd and the people that support the NFL, especially the folks that were against Colin when he first did taking the knee. Oh, they were on Fox all this weekend, dogging out the documentary or series and just talking about him
Who
like
cares?
he ain't had
Who
no
cares?
no good
Who
sense. It's
cares? Look, you
ridiculous.
know what? I don't care what the John Gruden crowd thinks about this. Okay, that's why he does. That's why he's out saying what he's saying. He knows. Look, for real, like
Hmm.
for real, as my friends used to say, for real, for real, for real. Look, when the Washington national team, I almost said their old name, but I'm not that racist. Speaking of racist, the former president of that Washington team is on those email chains with John Gruden, talking about like things like Colin Kaepernick and about how he's a detriment to the league. So when Washington kept losing quarterbacks, which they did during that year, and the city of DC and surrounding area was bracing themselves, and they're like, "Well, we know who the best quarterback we could get. He's still available. He's not even in the league right now." So they were waiting. They were bracing themselves, waiting for that call to go in to Kaepernick to try to lead that Washington football team out of the abyss in which they had found themselves. And you know who didn't get a call? And now, having read some of those John Gruden emails that was sent to the president of the Washington football team at that time, we know why he didn't get a call. So yeah, Colin, blow it up real good because yeah, like Val said, like you said, he's not going to get that call probably ever again, and it's okay. He has moved on to another stage in his life.
And
Um, I got to tell
yeah.
you, so I watched it a little bit differently. I didn't see all of it. Yeah,
You see
exactly.
what T said? It's Fox. What do you expect?
You can't. I mean, look, they're not going to be fair and balanced. They never were. If you really want to know how the Murdoch family operates, watch the session on Showtime. Anyway, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay, I was watching it a little bit differently because I was, having lived out in that area and worked in that area. When he said
Hmm.
Turlock, I was like, I know where Turlock is. When he went to the mall, I'm like, I've been to that mall, that Modesto Mall before. Oh,
Wow.
I know these places. I swear to goodness, one of those pictures had him in a Pittsburgh Panthers uniform. Pittsburgh is out of the Bay. That's like outskirts of the Bay Area. So I know these places and I know what the attitudes of people are out there. What it's like, okay? Everybody thinks of California as this like la la land and liberal bastion. It is not. And it's not that way everywhere. The
Yeah.
place where he was uh,
Yeah, and what I was so remarked by, and I'm not going to spoil it for anyone that hasn't seen all 6 episodes. They're short. They're like 28 to 30 minutes. They're not that long. When he travels with his a baseball team and he's staying at the hotels and just the looks he gets, those small microaggressions, you're just like, wow. And his parents are clueless. The actors played the parents very well, where they're just kind of like, okay, well, we're gonna you do it, you good job. We got it's game day. And I was thinking, wow. But ultimately with Colin, I don't know if you all recognize when he maybe a couple of years ago he was listed as a first a quarterback, then a former quarterback. But if you now look him up, he is now listed as an American activist. And one thing I wanted to end with, on his what he says toward the end of the series, he says, "To the underestimated, the overlooked, and the outcast, trust your power." And I trust that this is going to be a game changer. And also, I if I was in Netflix, I'd be ordering more seasons of this particular limited series, because it only goes to high school. I'd like to see the full story, the full
I mean, goes to
enchilada. So I'm
Nevada.
excited to see it.
He played it in Nevada, right? Didn't he play it in Nevada?
Yeah, and that's where they ended. That, not to give it
Okay.
away, but they don't go too much
Well,
further in the
his
past the high
actual
school.
life. He goes. He plays at University of Nevada, the Wolfpack. And if you know anything about California, Nevada is not very far away from where he grew up. You can just kind of cross into the state. There's some overlap there.
Hmm.
Um, so he gets away to school, but not that far away. Um,
Hmm.
the thing that's remarkable about a lot of these athletes, this is something that if you're really interested, if you want to know more about kind of the background, not necessarily of Kaepernick, but of the position that he plays and the significance that he holds true to, saying that I am a quarterback. There is I think it's Vice Media put together a show called Fear of the Black Quarterback, and you can kind of look it up. It's streaming,
Wow.
and it's amazing. It's a historical look at the NFL, at football, in the progression of African Americans being allowed to play quarterback, and then toward the end demanding that they be kept in the position that they were playing in, junior high, high school, college, and not be told that, oh, we're going to convert you to receiver. Oh, you'd make a much better running back. Oh, can you play defense? It's like, I'm a quarterback. This is what I did. This is who I am. I have the mental acumen to be a quarterback. I have the physical attributes that I work at daily. I have the arm strength. I have the intelligence to be a quarterback. Just because my last name isn't Manning doesn't mean I can't be a quarterback.
Yeah, and if you guys, I know that some of you all are football fans, and I know everything
It's
is
great.
it's great, but go ahead and put your favorite teams in the chat. I'm just gonna see what people put in the chat. If you have a favorite football team, go ahead and put it in the chat, because I'd love to see it. But check it out. Colin in Black and White is now streaming on Netflix. And now I'm going to move on to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Oh my gosh.
Bro. Wow. Wow. They should rename it the Rock/Hip Hop Hall of Fame. Because all the fire was coming from hip hop over this weekend. Soon to be on HBO. Eventually, in the next couple of weeks, you'll get to see what the inductees did, how they performed. But all the fire, all the real fire, was coming from hip hop. And
Mhm.
not one of those wonderful people on the screen that we see. We see Jay Z, Tina Turner. There's Dave Grohl, Foo Fighters, and then
Mhm.
there's Carol King, the divine Carol King,
Mhm.
songstress and songwriter extraordinaire,
Yeah.
someone who Taylor Swift bowed down to as a songwriting goddess there. But the fire was apparently was LL. That's what I can't
Yeah.
wait to see. That's what I heard all about. I'm
That's what
waiting
I heard about
for
too.
HBO to come out there so I can see LL just rip it up. Whoa.
So so I think what happened is that in the performer category there were certain people that made it into the inductees. So you had Tina Turner, Carol King, the Go-Go's, Jay-Z,
Go
Foo
go.
Fighters,
Yeah.
yeah,
Deserve it. They
and
deserve
Todd
it.
Rundgren.
Rundgren. Todd Rundgren.
Rundgren.
But we don't have to
Todd
say his name
Rundgren.
too much because that fool didn't want to show up. He doesn't think that being in the hall is important because art shouldn't be judged that way. He tried to take a ship on the whole thing, and we don't need to talk about him no more. So let's talk about who was there. Who
Mhm.
was there?
Well,
LL
I
Cool J was there
who
as
was there? Who was there?
excellent LL Cool
Yeah.
J.
Now, LL Cool J was under the Musical Excellence Award along with Billy Preston and Randy Rhoads.
The late Randy Rhoads, man, he rests in
Late.
peace. The
Mhm.
guitarist extraordinaire who played with Ozzy Osbourne. He's a guitar on the seminal hit "Crazy Train," which if you don't like loud or heavy metal, he was an amazing guitarist. A guitarist look up to. But LL, alive and well, comes
Mhm.
out with his special guests, I should say, plural, and just tears it up.
Oh, I have met
Unbelievable.
I have met LL twice in person. Once at the Essence Music
Let
Festival
me let me
in
pick up the name you just dropped. Okay, got it, got it.
I met LL Cool J in at the Essence Music Festival, and also when he was promoting a fitness book in New York, and just a sweetheart.
LL in fitness? Is he
He
fit?
was he was in fitness. I don't that was now we're talking 10 years ago, 10 to 12 years ago
Did
when
you
he
make
came
sure
out
he
with his
was
book.
fit, Val? Did you check him?
I, he's married, so I just did a side Christian hug. Kevin, back me up in the chat. I did a side Christian hug. You know how that goes. But you know what I did hug, I was like, I know why the ladies love Cool James. I think I'm having a hot flash. Okay, Lord have mercy.
He can still
So
rock
anyway,
those bells, huh?
I have always been a fan. You go ahead and drink that drink. I have always been a fan of LL Cool J, and he definitely brings the
I sit
performance.
alone in my room. Sometimes I stare at the wall, and in the back of my mind, I hear my conscience call, telling you I need a girl that's sweet as a dove. For the first time in my life, I said in love. There I was.
Yes. That's right. Thank you, Kevin, for backing me up. That's right. Christian
You left
side.
room for the Holy Spirit.
That's right. Leave
And
room
the
for the Holy
Holy
Spirit.
Spirit can shift sometimes. Sometimes the Holy Spirit, sometimes the Holy Spirit, right? Right. Cannot be defined. Mm.
All I'm saying is it is well
Like
deserving that
Oprah
he
on
is
Weight
in the
Watchers.
Rock and Roll Hall of
Up and down,
Fame.
up and down.
Kudos to LL. Kudos to LL.
And he brought the fire.
Yes, he did.
Apparently, apparently they needed it. But what I'm reading. This is one of these performances that is can be spoken in the same breath as Prince playing the guitar solo on while my guitar gently weeps. So
Hmm.
I know that's big talk. So I got to see it for myself. I know LL can perform live. I remember a gazillion years ago when he first went on Saturday Night Live
Uh-huh.
and had a DJ on there with him, and he cut it up. Would go cut creator go cut creator go. I also, and everybody and their mama remembers him on MTV Unplugged with like acoustic guitars and drums, and he was like ripping it up then. I
I
mean,
know.
so that I think dispels this. Can next year, when there is someone from hip hop who is nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, can we finally get rid of this nonsense like about why are they putting hip hop in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I just don't wonder. It's because it's a new rock and roll. That's why. Because when I went to the event Lollapalooza with the Foo Fighters headline on one of the nights, half or more of the other acts were hip hop acts, and they
Right.
moved the crowd just like rock artists moved the crowd. They were
Mm-hmm.
like mosh pits and floating and jumping around and singing and all sorts of like teenage inspired activity that used to be associated solely with guitars and drums and people with long hair shaking it like this. Okay, it's moved on. It has evolved. The music
Yeah.
to grow,
If
and it needs to acknowledge where it is and the new founders of the new branches of rock and roll.
Exactly. And now, if you guys have, if you all can think of someone that you believe should be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, go ahead and put it in the chat. And I see T was getting my she was like, I know that right, Val. That's right. I was talking about LL and the Christian side hug. But ultimately, I'm I wanted to bring this out. There have only been so many female artists that's been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We showed a picture earlier of Carole King, which the Broadway show Beautiful, which is now I think back on stages in New York as well as a few other places. Carole King wrote so many wonderful songs in the
Yeah,
late
no,
60s,
but
early
she's going in
70s.
as a performer for this, right?
Yeah, I believe she's put in
Okay,
as a
I
performer,
believe
but
she's already been in as a songwriter.
well, that
Correct.
yeah, that and that makes sense. But
Mhm.
unfortunately, there's only been 10 women that have been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Can you name at least two or three?
Mhm. That's sort of a. Mm, I was going to say
Mm.
that's sort of a trick question, but it is.
Yeah, so yeah, thank you so much, Kevin, for putting that in there. Just so
Two of those
this is
women have gone in twice.
oh, I know. That would have been
Wha-
cool. That would have been
Two
cool.
of them
So
have
here's
gone in twice, once with the group and then once as a solo act.
right. So Nina Simone is one of the women. We have Darlene Love. I know we don't remember
Mhm.
some of these folks. Etta
Candy
James.
Stove, yeah.
Etta James. Laverne Baker.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Now here we go. Janet Jackson
Recently, that was within the last. That was last year, right?
last year, I believe. Yes.
Mhm.
Aretha Franklin.
Yes, definitely.
Of course, our the Queen of Jersey, Whitney Houston.
Queen of Jersey.
I'm just throwing that out there. I
Woo,
don't know.
Jersey's having a good night. At least Jersey's having a better night than Virginia. Anyway, yeah.
Donna Summer, and I believe, and then who we put up,
Donna
Tina Turner. That's the 10
Summer.
women.
Ten, oh, okay. 10 African American women. That's who you're talking about, right?
No, no, no. Everybody ain't African American in the thing I said, did I? Oh no,
Yeah,
no, these are
yeah.
they all are. I'm so sorry. They all are.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
that's fine. That's fine
Okay.
because there are other women that have gone into the Rock and
Mm-hmm.
Roll Hall of Fame. Tina Turner, she went in as a solo artist this year. She had previously been inducted into the hall with Ike,
Yeah.
so this is a little bit better.
Anime the cake.
And who inducted her?
Who inducted her?
Who gave her a speech? You know, who gave her a speech.
Who gave a speech?
It was Miss Angela Bassett who her
Ooh,
in and
yes.
talked about Tina Turner and did so. I'm told in the most theatrical Shakespearean way possible. But you know, you gotta get a heavy lifter like Angela Bassett, and we know she can lift things because she got them arms. Man, she had them Tina Turner arms, right? Woo!
You telling? Oh
Woo!
my gosh.
That's
I am such hey, wait a minute. Here's Kevin. Tina Turner is simply the best. There you go.
definitely,
I
definitely. She
know.
came in. She had J Hud, Jennifer Hudson, performed her song, one of her songs. Also, who else performed? For Tina Turner, Mickey Guyton,
Good.
who's a country artist in African America. She performed "What's Love Got to Do with It" for Tina Turner.
All right. So
So
if you guys oh wait a minute. We have a question here. No Diana Ross
Diana Ross definitely is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame
with the
with the
Supremes.
Supremes,
Yeah.
as a
Mhm.
group,
Yeah.
not as a
Solo
solo
artist.
artist. As no, she is not.
Yeah.
There right now. There are only two people now because now Tina Turner is the second person. There are two people that are in the Rock and Roll women. They're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as solo artists and with a group. Tina Turner is one of
Right.
them because she was in with Ike, and now she is in as a solo artist. The other is Miss Stevie Nicks. Stevie Nicks is in as a solo artist and also with the group
Fleetwood Mac.
Fleetwood Mac.
With that song Dreams becoming popular because of a TikTok video. Can you believe it, guys? Oh my gosh. So if you guys want to check out what happened over the weekend, it's going to be showing on HBO and HBO Max. It will air on Saturday, November 20th, 2021. And you can check it out. All the performances we mentioned, it'll be fun to see. Oh
Definitely,
my
definitely.
gosh.
The LL, and his special guest, which I did not mention. So, if you want to
Great
look it up in the
tease.
meantime, you can. But if you want to be surprised, just watch the show, and the special guests will start coming out. I was like, whoa, that's big time. And as Val said, LL did not get in as a Hall of Fame artist. He got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame musical excellence. So he had been
Musical.
on the ballot for the last several years and never made it in that way. Though the artist Jay Z did get in for his first time being nominated.
Yeah. So, and I think it's mainly about people voting. Yeah, it's all about
It
the
is
vote.
vote. A part of the
Hmm.
vote is open to the public. Once they set the
Hmm.
nominees, you are able to go online and vote and record and do that. I've done that the last couple of years. Some really beyond some of the artists that you mentioned. I don't think you mentioned Kraftwerk. Kraftwerk got in. I'm not sure
Hmm.
if that was for musical excellence or that was just the Hall of Fame they got in. And I know Pharrell Williams, he's the person that um, talked about them and inducted them into the Rock Hall of Fame. Um,
Right. And
and then
Gil
number
Scott
44,
Heron and Gil Scott Heron was
yes,
also inducted too.
yes, as he should have been long ago. And the person that inducted Jay Z did so, I believe, by video. You know him as number 44.
44.
BHO,
Okay.
Barack Obama.
Oh, Barack. Oh, that
Yeah, that
44. We're
guy.
talking
Yeah, that
presidents.
guy.
Okay.
Yeah, we talking presidents. Yeah. So, I
Oh,
mean, who else of stature could induct Jay Z into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I mean, it's Jay Z, his wife. I mean, beyond that, I mean, what we talking about, like alien life forms, other creatures? I mean, how much higher evolved can we get? President, that's pretty good.
I know. I know. And so go ahead. If you like the video, go ahead and hit the like button on the video. And then also, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We got it going on there. Oh my goodness. Well,
Smash
tomorrow
it, smash
we
the like
got
button.
we we have a great episode coming up on our audio podcast with Dr. Stephen Jones. He will be our guest on tomorrow when we release that audio podcast, and it's going to be a great one. Myself and Michael got a chance to talk with him about education
Mhm.
and
He,
anything to
he
help
was
kids
dropping
and STEM.
science.
He'll be literally dropping science.
That's right. You better pick it up.
I
Just like
know, I
Val dropped
know.
names, you got to pick it up.
Thank you
Drop
so
them
very
names.
much.
I was with James Todd Smith. Yeah, I gave him a friendly hug. Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Mr. Springer. Yes, I said the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame will be on air on HBO on November 20th. So I'm just
Yeah.
and before I get out of here, tonight's episode of Talk on Tuesdays is brought to you by Coach Glass. It's never too late.
GLACE.
It's never too late to create your life of dreams. And there we go. That is Coach Glass. She's our sponsor for this month. Okay.
It's time to
Anyway,
transform and fly.
oh, very much so. My life, my life, my life, my life. If you want to go ahead and book a dream session with Coach Glass, we'll put that information in the chat. Michael,
Spread
what's your
your
name?
wings. Spread them pretty wings. That's right. Spread your
That's right.
wings and fly. Transform and fly. Well, I know what my name is. My name isn't Valarie Johnson because your name is. Ha ha. And this has been Talk on Tuesday. Interludes Extra with Valarie Johnson.
That's right. So go ahead, guys, and check out our episode of our
Just
audio
smash
episode
that like
drop.
button.
It drops
Smash it.
tomorrow. Thank you. It drops tomorrow. All
We drop
right.
the science tomorrow.
All right, guys, we're out of here. Thank you so much for joining us. Here we go.
It's like an extra. Yeah.